Welcome to the Lockdown Economy. We are a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Rosie Allison and my guest today is Sjoerd van de Maaden. He's the founder of Specialiststerden, who are a social enterprise providing IT services in testing and robotics, and they employ primarily people with autism. Sjoerd, I'm really looking forward to finding out more about what you do with your business and your social enterprise. Thank you very much for speaking with me today. How are you doing?
I'm really fine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, happy to talk to you. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I gave a quick introduction there of Specialiststerden, but could you describe a little bit more about what you do as a business?
Yeah. Actually, we are an IT consulting business providing IT services. And as you mentioned, with people with autism primarily, at least 80% of our revenue is being provided by people with autism. And in that case, we're also a social enterprise. So we are an impact first company. And we started about 12 years ago, providing these services, mostly effectively testing websites. This was at that time highly relevant, and it could easily be done by people with autism while they were not at the customer premises. So this was work which could be remotely provided, testing as a service. The company grew from there. Just to mention, we are now with 45 people with autism employed, 55 staff in all, and starting from where we were 12 years ago and progressing, we effectively became expert in testing the digital transformations of companies. Of course, the online internet and mobile realm of IT has become much more relevant for people and companies as well. So we're talking about e-commerce, financials, banking, all the stuff you do every day, which has been growing like crazy for the last 10 to 12 years. And we have been providing testing services in that area. So that's what we do. We are specialized on online and mobile testing of relatively big companies.
Right, okay, interesting. And you obviously also have this added aspect of being the social enterprise with around 40 people who are employed by you with autism. So I wonder, when the pandemic hits, you obviously have a very specific group of employees there that you need to support through this process. So could you tell me a little bit about what you did to try and support your employees during that time?
Yeah. Well, as luck would have it, we had just employed an additional staff member, someone who was not in the autistic spectrum, specifically for the task of supporting our people with autism. So this was a very fortunate insight to get someone like this on board. And she joined the company in February. So when in March the pandemic hit, we were all very busy, and she specifically so. And this is because we immediately switched over to working from home. And this had a significant impact on the way we work, let's say the more social aspects. And also the personal lives, obviously, of our staff. Apart from that, there was also a significant impact in our customers, because we are specialized on companies transforming their businesses and also startups. And two of our biggest customers, who are startups, were more or less immediately closed down. So there were investors who withdrew from the initiative. And in April, we were facing a big double-digit drop in revenue. So lots of work to do, and also for our staff, they were extremely concerned about the drop in revenue. They, of course, saw that there was less work to do. So deeply concerned, which of course adds to the overall tension. So it was a very hectic period.
Yeah, thank you for being so honest about the challenges that you face there, both with your employees moving it into a home working space,
Yeah.
And also with the drop of revenue. But I wonder, so that was back in August when we were really feeling the first impacts of the first wave, the first lockdown. And now, obviously, we're in March, and unfortunately, the situation has continued for rather longer than people were expecting. So what kind of measures have you and your business put in place to try to stimulate your business during this time?
Yeah. We have on the employee side, we have focused very much on supporting our employees to work from home. So this means that we had colleagues driving around, delivering, keyboards, headphones, mouses, monitor stands, office chairs to staff at their home situation in order to provide them and set them up to work. We also heavily invested. We were already used to using online tools, like online chatting and video conferencing. We invested heavily into getting everyone onboarding on those tools and using them, scaling up the use. Also, we have so the period I'm talking about was March, April 2020, and we more or less immediately also got some licenses for webinar software. So we switched our monthly and our quarterly meetings immediately to webinars. And we upped our communications. So we started communicating, being very transparent, how the business went to our colleagues in order to at least provide them with, a very clear source of information, enabling them to get the information and ask questions. The webinar software we also used heavily in order to transfer the webinars we had, the seminars we had planned onto webinars. So we also use this, for customer events. So this effectively was, very, very efficient, very cost efficient. Also, what we did, which felt a bit scary at the time, was we invested in our new business line, robotics, robotic services, providing robotic services. And we signed up a new manager for that. So this was a bit of a bold move. But yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, that's great to hear that you were able to actually, invest and move into different areas during the pandemic when, like you said, it can feel very scary to do that when maybe revenues are dropping. And also I think that's some great advice about the webinar software, that actually you can use it for several different purposes to make it more cost efficient. And of course, all the time supporting your employees that are experiencing this pandemic the same as everybody is. So you put a lot of measures in place and really made sure that all your employees and your business was running as smoothly as it possibly could during the pandemic. And I wonder, have you started to see the effects of that, and how is your business going today in the present climate?
Yeah. Yes, we have seen the effects. So I will move through it time-wise. Yeah. As I say, we invested heavily into communicating our current and also new services to the market in order to attract new business. This was very much driven by our approach to employing people with autism. We want to provide them with stability. So the thing we try to avoid, and we have been relatively successful, is laying off staff. We feel for our social purpose, it's highly relevant to get these people into a steady job, also in a long-term contract. And so we really made the effort to get the company going again rather than lay off staff. Investing heavily in let's say commercial and marketing effort. This has paid off, fortunately. So we were actually able to grow the company back into the black figures throughout the summer, which is highly atypical in IT business. In IT, typically a summer is, that's a period where you lose most of the money. It's very, very cyclic business. So we were able to grow the company at that time, and in August we were in the black again. So that was really cool. Obviously, we also, in the let's say in the back end, we took some measures regarding taxes and stuff. But we were not eligible for any subsidies. So yeah, we were able to turn around the dip really quickly. That's basically the conclusion. Moving forward, we saw that in Q3, especially in Q4, and also in the past couple of weeks and months, we see people suffering from lockdown and lack of perspective. This is not one-to-one connected with autism, but for sure people with autism also find it in some situations harder to look on the bright side, reflect on themselves, and get themselves together. So we are again very much making an incredible effort to support our staff. Unfortunately, we have quite a considerable number of employees who are basically not fit for work. And again, we're not thinking about specifically laying off these staff, but we are again hiring staff in order to enable our company to run and to grow. So we are again investing and trying to invest ourselves out of this situation. I'm fortunately backed by some shareholders who also have this view on how to move forward. So we are, the situation and the reason for investing is slightly different. But again, we are trying to get ourselves out of a tight spot by looking at the positive and opportunities that we see. So that's where we are now. So basically 2020 was not a very good year. Also, by investing in a new line of business, we have not, this also cost us in terms of our EBITDA, but we looked at a long-term perspective. So not the short-term financial goal for the end of the year, but the long-term moving out of the crisis perspective was our leading leading indicator there, and
Yeah.
that we're confident that this will work for us.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and I think that's a piece of advice that can definitely be translated into many different industries, that you can hopefully invest yourself out of a crisis. And yeah, just laying off staff is not the solution. You need to invest more in those current staff and some new staff maybe in order to try and stimulate your business. So I think you've given us some really interesting insights into your own specific business and the social enterprise that adds that added complexity, but some insights, like I said, that can be translated to many different industries. And I wonder, so like you said, things are going pretty well at the moment. You have a positive outlook, I think, from all of the investments that you've done. But as always with a small business, there are things that you need help with. So if there was maybe one thing that you think in this current moment, you and Specialiststerden need help with, what would that be?
You know, we are a purpose-driven company, impact first, but we do good by doing business. Yeah. So doing business is the driver of the doing good bit. So basically, what we are currently looking for is, well, to put it very bluntly, new business, new customers, in order to grow the company. We are, you know, investing in our company. We're investing in our marketing. We're investing in our sales, and it would be great if we can attract new customers in order to support the growth. So yeah, that's the most critical aspect of running a business, of course. At the same time, I would like to also, you know, grab the opportunity that if people are interested in employing people with autism in general, and they would like to, you know, take a virtual look at how we do this, I would very much welcome everyone in order to get in touch.
Yeah, brilliant. And I'll definitely put some links below that you can get in touch with Sjoerd if you have any questions about his particular line of business, be it the social enterprise part or the main business. So thank you, Sjoerd. I think it's been a really interesting talk to speak to somebody who runs not only a business, but a social enterprise. So I'm really grateful that you've taken the time to share your insights with us. And I invite everybody who is watching this video to please like it and subscribe to the AlterContacts YouTube channel, because in the coming weeks, we're going to have many more small business owners sharing their insights with you. Sjoerd, do you have any final words for anybody who may be watching and is maybe interested in what you're doing and may want to get in touch?
Yeah, don't hesitate to contact us. We're happy to share, and keep up the good work, and try and be positive, and get yourself out of the crisis.
A great message. Thank you very much, Sjoerd.